Some houses hide secrets, others are built on them. Don't Breathe looks like a simple breaking story at first, but give it a few minutes and it turns into something way more intense. This is one of those movies that pulls you in quietly and then keeps you on edge the entire time. So, we are on Detroit, not the shiny version you see in postcards, but the abandoned, almost forgotten part of a city. Empty houses, quiet streets, whole blocks that feel like no one is watching. That's where we meet three young thieves. They are not masterminds, they are just trying to get by or maybe get out. Breaking into empty homes is their routine, quick jobs, low risk, in and out, until they hear about this guy. An old man, blind, living alone, with a rumor that he's hiding a lot of cash. And in their minds, this is it, the easiest score they've ever had. No alarms, no witnesses, no problem, but yeah, they couldn't be more wrong. The second they step inside that house, something feels off. It's too quiet, too still, like the place is holding its breath. And then you realize they are not alone, and they are definitely not in control, because the man they came to rob, they may be blind, but he's far from helpless. He knows that house better than anyone. Every step, every corner, every sound, it's all part of his world, and when you take away sight, everything else gets sharper. So now the game flips. The hunters become the hunted, and what makes this movie hit so hard is how simple it seems. It doesn't rely on constant jump scares or loud moments. Instead, it builds tension in the quiet, like real quiet. You start noticing every little thing: a shoe scraping the floor, a breath that's just a bit too loud, a door that creaks at the worst possible moment, and suddenly even breathing feels risky. There are scenes where the camera just follows the characters slowly through the house, room by room, like you are right there with them. Not cut, not escape, just tension building second by second. And at some point, you stop watching the movie, you start feeling it. Another thing that really stands out is how the film plays with your perspective. At the beginning, you kind of get why the thieves are doing this. They are desperate, they want a way out. But as things get worse, your feelings start shifting. You question their choice. You question the men in the house. You question yourself for even picking a side. Because Don't Breathe doesn't give you a clean hero or villain. It lives in that messy gray area where everyone has reasons, but none of them feel fully right. And that just makes everything more uncomfortable in a good way. This movie is actually really smart in how it's put together. The house, it wasn't just some random location. They built a full set so they could control everything. The layout, the lighting, even how the camera moves through each room. That's why the house feels so real and also kind of like a trap. A big challenge here was those long, continuous shots. You will notice the camera gliding through tight spaces, following characters without cutting away. That takes a lot of coordination. Actors, camera, crew, lighting, everyone has to hit their mask perfectly. If one thing goes wrong, they reset and do it all over again. And then there's the sound design, which is honestly one of the stars of the movie. Since the story revolves around someone who can see, sound becomes everything. Footsteps feel louder, breathing feels heavier, silence feels dangerous. There are even moments where the movie almost cut out sound completely, putting you in this uncomfortable, almost suffocating quiet. It's a bold move, but it works incredibly well. Stephen Land, who plays the blind man, is seriously impressive here. He doesn't overdo it. He keeps everything controlled, almost calm, but that's what makes him so intense. You can feel the danger even when he's not moving. He actually trained to move like someone without sight, focusing on how a person listens, reacts, and navigates space, and it shows. Nothing feels fake. Jane Levy as Rocky brings a lot of emotion to the film. You can feel her urgency, her need to escape, her fear, but also her determination. She's not just running away from something, she's running toward a better life. And the rest of the cast keeps things grounded. Their reactions feel real, not over the top, which makes the tension hit harder. One of the biggest risks with this movie was keeping it engaging while being so quiet and slow at times. When your story depends on silence, you have to be really precise with pacing. Too slow and people lose interest, too fast and you lose the tension. They found that balance real well. Another challenge was the moral ambiguity. The film doesn't tell you who to root for, and that's not always an easy sell, but here it actually becomes one of its strongest points. It makes the story stick with you after it ends. Don't Breathe proves you don't need big explosions or constant noise to create fear. Sometimes the scariest thing is silence. It's the feeling that something is there right next to you and you don't even know it. So yeah, next time you are in a quiet room and everything feels just a little too still, maybe listen closely, and whatever you do, don't breathe.